The Truth Be Told by Ishah, Binah. Chapter 12. I finally saw his face. There was a time when I missed my very best friend forever. Where had the time gone? Will I see him again? When? What can I do to call him to me? If I call him, will he come for me? On a 2018 summer night in Victorville, he was suddenly heavy on my heart as I was speaking to my niece on the phone. It seemed to have been more than 10 years since my very best friend forever had visited me. I shared our story with my niece and a few dreams. I said, I hope I see him again soon. She encouragingly replied that she hopes I do also. One thing is for certain, my very best friend forever hears my voice beyond my dreams. He answered my call the same night. He was really sweet about it too. I dreamed that I was in a mall. I spent a little time in the mall too, shopping and browsing. There was some sort of disturbance in the mall that I had to get away from. The disturbance was intense, but did not last long. After the disturbance, I went and got something to eat while still inside the mall. The colors inside the eatery were shades of tan and copper. I approached a lengthy counter having hot food behind a revealing glass. Burnt orange tables in the shapes of circles having seating for five floated the wide spaced dining area where I sat and ate. There was a bus stop right down the street from the eatery at the mall. The road was whimsically curved in various directions. I waited for the copper colored bus to arrive. The bus driver faced me as he opened the door, allowing me to board. We took a windy road through the mountains. I sat near the back of the bus. The atmosphere was very peaceful. It was just now past dusk. Now, I did not notice when this happened or how, but somehow the bus had converted to a topless vehicle. It was still a bus, only now with an open top and more floor space too. Upon noticing how the bus converted, I looked for the driver and his seat was empty. And the bus was still in full forward motion on the windy mountain road. Surprisingly, I felt a lot calmer than I thought I should be at that moment. The night air caressed me with delight. I could almost fly. Okay, so I was better than calm. I was at bliss. I looked around to see who was with me on the bus. There's the bus driver. Found him. Wait, why is he leaning up against the side of the bus and not driving? So, the bus driver, he was a very handsome man, physically fit. He stood tall and solid with a pleasant demeanor. His hair was very closely cut. The richness of his skin tone was reminiscent of copper. As I approached his direction, he kept the side of his head angled toward me as he intentionally looked at me with a peripheral stare. while smiling in another direction. I knew who he was. He was my very best friend forever. We communed with one another under the stars. The top down bus was steady on the windy mountain path with no one in the driver's seat. I was ever so happy to see him. The sky was half and half. It was clear in some areas and cloudy in others. A cloudy opening appeared in the night sky. The opening was in the shape of a door. It was a rectangle. I was taken near to the opening and allowed to look up into it. I looked and gazed inside. Next, I was in a room where two men sat and spoke to me for a short moment before they left the room. Alone in what seemed to be a hotel suite, I refreshed myself with soap and water. Once I was clean, I dressed and walked out of the door of the suite. When I opened the door of the suite to walk out, I walked into another dimension. My very best friend forever was there. He wore a long white robe. He was so tall that I could not look up high enough to see his face. I was feeling playfully scrappy. I said to my very best friend forever, I said to him, "You are tall, man. You are tall." Furthermore, I said to him, "You are so tall. I know. Let's play David and Goliath. I'm David." When I said this, immediately my head was ever so gently lifted up, and I saw his face. He was a medium brown black man with a low cut fro. He smiled at me. Then I woke up. Tip: if anyone cares to analyze this dream, do keep in mind it is a dream. Though my friend, he is real, when he visits me in a dream, the rules of a dream apply. Anything can happen in a dream. That was how I first understood some of the questions I had about the dream, anyway. Thinking of it that way might be a good start. One question I had about the dream I will share. Why did my very best friend forever appear unto me as two different looking men? Of course, one question raises another. How did I know that both of the men were still him? It felt really good when I woke up and thought about what I had experienced. It felt good to know that my friend, my very best friend forever, is ginormous and teaches me of things that are not even of this world.